Hey y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is your girl, Ginaes Floetry, and I was coming to stop by, and I'm trying to get better with, sending a word, giving a word. But of course, I only do it when I'm led to do it, and the Lord has really been leading me to go in this direction for however long, I do not know, but I will be obedient. And so I just want to come and drop a spiritual nugget off this morning just to jumpstart your day. And I pray and hope that all is well, that you all are doing great and amazing, having a good week, even on the gloomiest of the glooms day with the rain and, the sun's not yet peeping through. But to God be the glory. We was able to wake up this morning with our right mind. And so for that, I'm just truly thankful. I'm thankful to be amongst you all, amongst the land of the living, So there's still purpose yet ready for us. And so I want to just jump right in. The Lord has been speaking to me for a while about a topic that he wanted me to do. And it may even be a poem as well, but it's titled, What's Your Sodom? What's Your Sodom? And this story is based off Genesis 19, preferably the verse 26, about, Sodom and Gomorrah, about Lot's wife, and when she looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. And so I'm going to read just the 26, and then I'll probably go back into a couple of verses just to kind of paint the picture of what the Lord wants me to share with you all today. I'm a very visual person, and I get my understanding through theatricals and visual. I'm a visual learner. So here we go. This is Genesis 19 and 26, and I am actually coming out of the NIV. I'm sorry, I had to look at it. I'm actually coming out of the NIV, and it says, "But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt." So let me break the story down. So back in the earlier part of the book, in Genesis 19, in the earlier verses, it says, the two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, Please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night and then go on your way early in the morning." "No," they answered. "We will spend the night in the square." But he insisted so strongly that they go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. And this is verse 4. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you last night? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them." Now, I'm going to stop right there. So this is verses 1 through 5. And, the picture that's painted is that, two angels arrived, and they ended up going to Lot's place where he lived and stuff. And Lot, made them comfortable, fed them, treated them like they should have been treated, because number one, they were angels. And then number two, servanthood. And so, the place Sodom, I looked up what the word, I knew what it was or what it meant just from the storyline. But Sodom definition means wicked or depraved place. And when I looked at the synonyms of the word depraved, for people who may not know, it means corrupt, reprobate, perverted, warped, brutal, sick, and twisted. Like, it's other synonyms for it, but to just get an understanding of what Sodom was. Sodom was a place of wickedness. It was a place of corruption. It was a reprobated place where people they were just charged to their own way of thinking, their own mind. They had no Christ desires in them at all. And so, it's just crazy, because have you ever been in situations where you were in a corrupt place? You were in a corrupt way of thinking. You were, perverted in a way. Your mindset was warped. You were brutal. You were twisted in your thinking. You know what I'm saying? When you was just used by the enemy. So my question today is, what's your Sodom? The reason why I asked that question, because a lot of times we look back at the very things God is telling us to move forward from. And that was the issue with Lot's wife. You know, here it is. Angels came and appeared. And, you know, thanks to Abraham, too, because he was praying and interceding for his family, because he knew, you know, that there was going to be a damaged situation to come from this. And so, you know, he was praying and he was warring on their behalf, on Abraham's behalf. But, you know, Lot was a man that trusted the Lord too. And so it was just interesting how, you know, this city that was so corrupt, that was so just like dangerous living, wild living, loose living, not caring, how God would still save his people in the midst of turmoil. And I look at the world today and I see all these things that's going on, all these senseless deaths, all these toddlers being injured and killed, and people losing their minds, people committing suicide. It's so much sin going on around us. It's ridiculous. It's almost like, man, is there a way up? But we just know that God will send his angels. He will come. He will send somebody in the midst of the storm. He will send somebody in the midst of literally death. And so you have to just keep courage and not be like Lot's wife. When God's telling you to move forward, move forward. When God's telling you to leave that situation alone, leave that situation alone. When he's telling you, here, this is your chance to get out, get out. Don't look back. It's a consequence for looking back. Looking back don't do nothing but pull you back into the things that God is trying to deliver you out of. You know, it's easier said than done. It really is. It really is. But at the same time, you got to want this so bad that it doesn't matter what goes on around you. You got to want it just that bad. You have to want God that bad. You know, you can't want people. You got to want the word. You got to know the word for yourself, you know, because at the end of the day, I may leave this earth before you, and then who you have, you can't continue to rely on the source of man, on the source of people. Know the word for yourself. Get acquainted with the Lord, build that relationship, build that foundation. We've been talking about foundation at our church. Build a strong foundation with you and the Lord so that you can hear him for yourself, because he will speak to you. And he doesn't speak to everybody in the same known language. He speaks to us all differently. But get that relationship for yourself. And so if I can just encourage you to that, because even when the angels was telling Lot, here, go run to the mountains or whatever, and Lot was like, no, that's too far. Can I please just run to the small town Zor? Or I think that's what it's called, Zor, and it means a small town. But later on in the story, he still ended up in the mountains. So God granted what he was asking. He was going to protect him either way, but he still ended up where God told him to go in the first place. So it's just, we just have to learn to be obedient, but God will favor us. And I appreciate that, because there's a lot of dumb decisions I done made in my life. It's a lot of wrong turns I took. But at the end of the day, it still rerouted me to the place where I needed to be from the very beginning. So let's just save the hassle and hear God and hear him clearly, so that we can just do what he's asking us to do the first go round. Let it not have to be the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, you know, like that song Jonathan McReynolds, cycles. We have to be able to break the cycles. We have to be able to be attentive and to hear the voice of the Lord. When he says to do something, do something. So what's your Sodom? I want you to examine yourself, and I want you to not tell me, not tell the world, but what is your Sodom? What is that very thing that God is telling you, hey, I need you to, you know, shun away from there, Ginaes Floetry. I need you to get back where I need you to be. I need you to not look at the situation anymore. I need you to let that go. I need you to let that die where it is, because what I'm about to do, I'm about to destroy all of this. And if you're caught up in it, you're going to be destroyed with it, you know? So we have to let our Sodoms go. Don't look back. Don't look back. The Lord telling you to go, he's telling you for a reason. If he's telling you to get covered, you better stay in the ark of safety, because that's where you're going to be protected. So know that. Just a little spiritual nugget. Keep courage. Keep pushing. I'm pushing you and I'm pushing me while I'm pushing you. And just know that God loves you and he cares for you. So you all have a wonderful day and you all be blessed. And I will see you soon. Again, Teen Summit, June 28th. Please come out. I do have people coming to me. And so far, 3 tickets are given away. So that means we have 7 left of free tickets. Free tickets. So hit me up if you're interested. Get your kids involved, your nieces, your nephews, etc. Because again, we need to pack out this place. And not only that, we need to impart and instill into our youth that they don't make the same mistakes that we're making or that we've made, because they have a Sodom too. And we have to be able to teach them and show them how to not look back into their Sodoms. So you all be blessed. Have a wonderful day. This is your girl, Ginaes Floetry. Love you all.